First, we were getting at least one brand new submarine. Then we were told they'd all be second-hand. Tonight, there are doubts the US will be able to deliver any subs at all. But Anthony Albanese is standing by the controversial AUKUS deal, dismissing new concerns about provoking China.
G'day legends, welcome back to the channel where we tackle the big issues without the political waffle. Today we're diving into AUKUS, Australia's biggest defence deal in generations. It's a submarine project that's got politicians excited, taxpayers nervous, and accountants reaching for the strongest coffee they can find. Depending on who you ask, AUKUS is either a brilliant investment in Australia's future security or the world's most expensive online shopping order. Either way, it's a lot of money. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars, nuclear-powered submarines, advanced military technology, and enough geopolitical drama to keep international relations professors employed for decades. So today we're breaking it down. What AUKUS actually is, why Australia signed up, who benefits, who's footing the bill, the delays and controversies, and whether Aussies are getting a fair deal. No fear campaigns, no flag waving, no tinfoil hats, just facts, a bit of humour, and genuine attempt to answer the question. Is AUKUS a smart investment or a very expensive gamble? Let's get into it. What the heck is AUKUS? First things first. AUKUS stands for Australia, United Kingdom and United States. Back in September 2021, Scott Morrison, Boris Johnson and Joe Biden popped up together and announced a brand new security partnership. And let's say it caught a few people by surprise, especially France, because Australia had already signed a deal with the French to build conventional submarines. Then suddenly Australia turned around and basically said, look, it's not you, it's us, and cancelled the contract. The French weren't exactly thrilled. Now AUKUS has two main parts. Pillar 1, the submarines. This is the headline act. Australia plans to acquire nuclear-powered submarines. Just to be clear, nuclear power doesn't mean nuclear weapons. The submarines use nuclear reactors for propulsion, but they carry conventional weapons. Think of them as the marathon runners of the ocean. They can travel further, stay underwater longer, and operate much more quietly than traditional diesel-electric submarines. The plan is for Australia to eventually receive Virginia-class submarines from the United States before moving to a future submarine design known as SSN AUKUS, developed by British and American technology. Meanwhile, from 2027, American and British submarines will start rotating through Western Australia. Pillar 2, the technical stuff. Now for the nerdy but important part. Pillar 2 focuses on advanced military technologies like artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, quantum computing, hypersonic systems, underwater drones, electronic warfare. Basically all the futuristic stuff that sounds like it belongs to a Marvel movie. The official goal is to strengthen security and stability in the Indo-Pacific region, which translated from diplomatic language means keeping an eye on growing strategy competition in the region. The big questions: money, delays and drama. Now, to get to the part that usually causes taxpayers to spill out their coffee, the cost. Current estimates put Australia's contribution up to $368 billion over several decades. That's a number so large most of us can't even visualise it. It's somewhere between a lot of money and surely that's a typo. Supporters argue you're buying decades of security at advanced capacity. Critics argue that's enough money to fund a small marine colony. The truth probably sits somewhere in the middle. The delay problem. Then there's the timeline. These submarines aren't arriving next week, or next year, or even this decade. The first major submarine acquisition are expected in the 2030s, with a full program stretching into the 2040s and beyond. And that's assuming everything goes according to plan. Which, let's be honest, is a sentence really spoken about projects involving governments, shipyards, and hundreds of billions of dollars. The United States is already working hard to increase submarine production for its own navy. So naturally some Australians are asking, if they're struggling to build enough for themselves, how quickly can they build ours? Now, that's a fair question. Former Prime Minister Paul Keating and other critics argue AUKUS ties Australia too closely to American strategy interests. Supporters say that's exactly the point. Australia has long relied on alliances for national security and strengthening those relationships which makes sense in a more uncertain world. Critics worry we could become more entangled in conflicts we didn't choose. Supporters argue we're already deeply aligned with our allies anyway. It's one of the biggest debates surrounding the entire project, and there's no simple answer. Winners and losers. So who's coming out ahead? Winners. The United States gains a stronger regional partner and investment in its submarine industrial base. The United Kingdom secures major defence work and plays a central role in the future submarine development. Australia's defence capacity could receive a significant boost through access to technology that previously wasn't shared with any country except Britain. And Australia's advanced technology sectors could benefit from research and development flowing from Pillar 2. Losers. Well, taxpayers are probably feeling a bit nervous when people hear numbers like $368 billion. They naturally start wondering what else that money could have funded. Housing, healthcare, infrastructure, education. Those are very valid questions. France also didn't exactly walk away smiling after losing the original submarine contract, and some region observers worry that increasing military capacity across the Indo-Pacific could contribute to an arms race. In short, depending on your perspective, everyone's winning, except maybe the federal budget. So what does it mean for ordinary Australians? For most Australians, AUKUS won't affect daily life tomorrow morning. You won't wake up and suddenly see a nuclear submarine parked outside Woolies, but over time it could have major impacts. Supporters see strong national security, high-skilled jobs, new industries, advanced technology investments. Critics see massive long-term costs, potential delays, dependency on foreign suppliers, strategies risks. The reality. Both sides raise legitimate points. Security isn't free, but neither are mistakes. That's why many Australians want greater transparency, stronger local industry involvement, and regular independent reviews to make sure taxpayers are actually getting what they're paying for. Conclusion. At its core, AUKUS is a bet, a very large bet. Australia is betting that deeper cooperation with the United States and the United Kingdom will keep the country secure in an increasingly an uncertain world. Maybe it pays off brilliantly. Maybe it ends up costing more and taking longer than expected. But most likely the truth will land somewhere in the between. What matters is making Australians get honest information, proper accountability, and a fair return on the biggest investment in our nation's history. But now I want to hear from you. Do you support AUKUS? Would you double down on it, renegotiate, or scrap it altogether? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe for more no-nonsense breakdowns, and share it with a mate who thinks geopolitics is just maps, memes, and an angry politicians on Twitter. Thanks for watching, stay curious, question everything, and let's hope our taxes eventually buy something that actually floats. See you next time.